You got pumpkins in a bucket?
Yeah, he's got a bush in there.
Yeah, that came out of the compost pile too. I don't know what it is.
That's a barberry bush. It's just an ornamental bush.
It may be an experiment and see what you end up with. You girls look happy in there.
This,
Yeah.
this shed back here, our neighbor man, it used to be an add-on on the side of it, and our neighbor man, he's fairly old right now. He's up in his 90s, I would say, or 80s, close to 90s. He was born and raised and lived in this as a house when he was a kid.
Wow.
And later on in years, his mom was able to buy the house next door, and they moved into there. But I was cleaning up one day, and he walked over and he said, "Boy, it don't look no different." Yeah, that. Like second setting of radishes. We planted some onions from seeds, and got overabundance of seeds in a bunch of them. But there'll be some nice bunch onions still, I believe. Some carrots, and my beets are doing rather well. I'm pleased with early start on them. We had a wonderful spring this year, but it's over wet spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get in real early with them.
Kind of got them on a little hump where maybe they drain a little bit too, don't you?
This area here had a cottonwood tree in it that looked like it was in bad shape, 30, 40 foot tall, and I didn't see that was safe to be in a trailer house with a bad tree.
Yeah.
So it came out 2 years ago, and I kept working it for a flower bed, and it ended up being my vegetable garden.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did you get your hollyhocks planted?
Yes, I planted them yesterday.
There's a lot of them in there. At least
Yeah, I did break them out and spread them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, got rid of them.
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah. Johnny picked one of those up with the grabber on the end of the mini hoe.
Excavator.
And the whole one, it was a whole piece. I have it when they were digging at our house. Yeah. I'm weird. I like those little neat things like that. Finding an old homestead.
Yeah. I have found a 1951 dog pen deal here.
Oh, cool.
And I find a lot of marbles in my garden.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the neatest things I found was a dime, an old dime, and I've got it put away.
Everything in I started from seed this year. My cabbages and all. I have been pleased with the outcome. I first starting with just real early, and I was worried, but they have done great because of the spring, the temperature we had. And I filled in with the second starting with seed radish or cabbage to finish out the rows. And for space, I put in bunch onions.
Well, and I've been reading a lot of companion stuff, and they're suggesting to put in onions and garlic in with your brassicas in order to repel the cabbage moth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good companion or to put in there, either chives or garlic, something in the alum family to help.
I've been fortunate. I see a little bit of chewing on leaves, but it's been wet or something, and we really don't have the moths and things out yet.
Right. And it may be the cool temperatures we've had.
Yeah.
That kind of slowed down their progress.
Well, your lettuce is looking good.
Lettuce is gorgeous.
And spinach.
Spinach. Now, which of this lettuce did you get as Baker Creek seed?
This is the Baker Creek Rocky Top variety.
Rocky Top.
I'm very pleased with it. The growth and all. I like to see a little more red. Would have set it off some
It
more.
was just that year's seed.
Yes.
Yeah.
A very nice, fast growing.
It's pretty good flavored lettuce too, isn't it?
Yes, very crisp.
Yeah.
I have no problem with, we double wash it. I throw it in a old onion bag and spin it dry. And I've had it keep in the refrigerator for a week and a half and still
Cool.
be crisp.
Yeah.
And through YouTube, I found that keeping it dry after washing, or drying it back out after washing, does help. And it does seem to preserve it longer that way.
Good.
And has this sold well for you in your marketing?
Yes, the girls have really enjoyed it. I did go uptown and sit while I was in school one day, and then we have made a circle around town and sold to several people around the community, and they've been generous enough. They know we got flooded out, and some of them donated to the girls to help get more tomato plants and stuff in place. We had rain here, and our garden spot that we was donated was underwater for about 4 days. Our tomatoes we had just planted, and we lost all 30 of them that we planted. So
wow.
the community was behind them and chipped in a little extra money for them.
That's good. That's good.
Cool.
But, and the peas are doing real well. We was late getting trellises up, but they have held up good to them. I have another short piece of trellis wiring to get stretched up above it. I didn't realize they would go that high. They're doing good. It wasn't a vining variety. It was more of a bush. After I got my seeds, I realized I wanted the vining variety. But it's working out all right.
Yeah.
They're vining pretty good for their bush variety. Yeah.
I moved my bees out to the country. We had some honey locusts in bloom. And so I loaded up 3 of my beehives that normally sit back in here and took them out to try to boost their amount of nectar and get them closer without the flight this early in the year. And the flowers are off now, so it's time to get them back. I'm going to have to go get my brother to bring his Trex in to get them hooked up and get them back up on dry land. They'll get them back to town here probably on the catawba blooms.
Yeah.
Will be real shortly, so I need to get them back in here for the catawba.
Yeah, that one's starting to come out.
And they do a lot of feeding all day long.
I hope that shows up. You can just barely see those blooms.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
You got one hive left here, Rodney?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what the name of the stuff is there beside that barn,
Oh yeah, that's succulent.
but
Live forever. That's what they
Live Forever, yeah, evergreen or something like that. That is a very good plant for my bees. It comes along at a time of year when there is nothing else in bloom. And
Cool.
they love that. I mean, they hit it hard. And so I tried to spread it around and propagate it into areas, knowing that it is going to provide for my bees at a time it is really needed. So that one there is one that will always be around my little house.
That's a very important thing you have to think about.
Yes.
Is providing for your bees.
Yep.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that myself. I can't do the bees. Gary might be able to do bees.
At the time when they're gathering their hay, when they're haying in the fields and stuff, you lose a lot of your wildflowers, and these are blooming a lot at that time, so it does give them enough to carry them on through. And I've noticed that they're on them daily, just loading. So that is a very good nectar source for them also.